Adana remembered the first time she saw Adaku like it was yesterday. It was the first day of business administration class at the University of Lagos. Adaku stormed into the lecture hall, bold red lipstick, a leopard print scarf, and high heels that clacked louder than the lecturer's voice. Adana, neat in braids and glasses, chuckled under her breath. Fate sealed their friendship when they were assigned to the same study group. Hi, I'm Adaku, the confident girl said. Adana, she replied shyly. From that moment, they were inseparable, more like sisters than friends. They spent sleepless nights cramming for exams, whispered during lectures, and wore matching outfits to parties. Their bond grew deep, rooted in laughter, loyalty, and the chaos of campus life. After graduation, life moved fast. Adana married Chike, a clean-cut, charismatic businessman. Adaku tied the knot with Obinna, a respected entrepreneur with money, class, and a very short temper. But what seemed like a happy end was just the beginning of pain. Adana's wedding trended online. It was classy, luxurious, and romantic. Everyone gushed over the lovebirds. You are lucky, her friend said. You got a real man. But behind the filtered photos, Adana noticed the cracks. Chike, her prince, started pulling away. He spent more time with his male best friend, Tunde, than he did with her. Where are you going again? She asked one night. Tunde needs me. He's going through something. Chike replied, not even looking up from his phone. Meanwhile, Adaku's honeymoon ended the day Obina got drunk and called her by another woman's name. He apologized with flowers and a Rolex watch. But the pattern continued. Drinks, yelling, insults, and later punches. She told herself, he's just stressed. Business is tough. He still loves me. But love shouldn't leave bruises. Despite it all, they told each other, we are fine. But deep down, both were breaking. Adana's once glowing skin dulled, her weight dropped, and her spark faded. She'd stare at the mirror and barely recognize herself. Her heart was heavy with suspicion, loneliness, and confusion. Chike still brought gifts, but never brought himself. She once joked to Adako, at this point, I think I married his best friend too. They laughed, but it was hollow. Adaku wore long sleeves in summer, oversized sunglasses in church, and makeup thick enough to paint a wall. She smiled at parties and cooked for Obina like nothing was wrong. But when she showered at night, she flinched when water touched her bruises. Excuses like family emergency or I'm tired became regular. They were dying in silence. Adana had always been a patient woman, even when Chike stayed out late with his male best friend, Tunde. She held her peace. She believed in trust. After all, what could two grown men be doing besides drinking and watching football? But cracks started forming. She once found a pink face towel in Chike's car glove compartment with lipstick stains. When she asked, he laughed it out off. It's Tunde's babe's own, he smiled. He borrowed my car. Another time, she saw a weirdly flirtatious message on Chike's phone. Last night was wild, baby. We need to talk about what this means. The sender, Tunde, she laughed nervously and confronted him. Chike stiffened. It was just a joke. We play like that. You women overthink everything, he said, brushing it off while chewing fried chicken. But something wasn't right. That night, Adana had a full-blown panic attack. Her memory failed her again, and she called Tunde's number by mistake instead of Chike's. She meant to say, please tell my husband to come home. But what she heard next shattered everything. Tunde's voice came through the speaker. Baby, calm down. I'm with Chike now. He's in the shower. I'll tell him to rush home once he's done. Silence, shower. Adana froze. Her voice trembled. This is Adana, Chike's wife. Click. The call ended. She couldn't breathe. Her words spun. Later that week, she confronted Chike calmly over dinner. She cooked his favorite jollof rice and goat meat, lit candles, wore red lipstick. Chike, she said sweetly, what would you do if your wife discovered your best friend was more than a best friend? He choked on his meat. What are you saying? I'm saying I hope Tunde is better at cooking than I am, since you are clearly building a home together. He dropped his fork. It's not what you think. She caught in. It's exactly what I think. And now I'm thinking of leaving you with your brother. Adaku's suffering was silent, but that silence was about to be shattered one unforgettable night. It started like any other dreadful evening. Obina came home drunk, shirt half buttoned, shoes in his hands, singing old high life tunes out of key. But this time he wasn't alone. Trailing behind him in high heels and tight jeans was a young lady with heavy makeup, long red braids, and a confused expression. Her name, Nancy, Obina's side chick. Nancy giggled awkwardly. Babe, you didn't say your place was this big, oh. She stepped inside, looking around like she'd won the jackpot. Obina already swaying like a palm tree in a storm. Lord, this is our new home, baby. I'm leaving my old Wahala wife. She's gone, long gone. As he staggered upstairs and collapsed on the bed fully clothed, Nancy made herself at home, kicking off her heels and asking Alexa to play Rema. But Adaku wasn't gone. She was very present and very awake. She walked out of the kitchen wearing her nightgown and a satin bonnet, holding a wooden spoon like a scepter. Nancy, are beside that. Welcome. Adaku said calmly, arms folded. You must be the confusion my husband brought home. Nancy blinked. Eh? Who are you? I'm the wife, the one your married lover forgot to mention while drinking bitters and lying through his teeth. Silence, then tension. Loose. Adaku pounced on Nancy like a lioness defending her cubs. The side chick screamed, Jesus, I didn't know. He said you traveled. Adaku replied, and you didn't travel from sense to common sense? They tumbled across the living room. Nancy tried to escape. Adaku pulled her wig off, spoon still in hand. The neighbors peeked through the windows. One of them whispered, it's like Netflix came to life. By the time Nancy scrambled out barefoot, wig in hand, makeup ruined, and one eyelash missing, Obina was still snoring like a broken generator upstairs. The next morning, Adaku sat quietly with a cold compress on her knuckles while Obina stumbled downstairs, rubbing his head. He looked around, blinking. Why is the center table upside down? Adaku handed him his torn shirt. Ask your side chick, maybe she'll remember. That was the day Adaku decided she wasn't going to die in that house. If Obina could bring a Adana broke, she cried, then packed her bags. Adaku had her own breakdown in the hospital after a night of abuse. She woke up battered and confused. Both women realized enough was enough. They began therapy, supported each other, and told their truth for the first time. Adana left Chike with only a note. I'm choosing me now. Adaku filed for divorce and pressed charges. The next week, Chike's business empire crumbled after Tunde disappeared, taking not just his heart, but his money too. Turns out Tunde had been plotting for months. The affair, real. The partnership, a scam. And Chike, a heartbroken, broke bisexual businessman living in his cousin's guest room in Egbeda. Adana, she moved on. When Adaku heard the full story, she nearly choked on her zobo. Wait, you mean to tell me while I was fighting side chicks, your husband was oh, fighting for position on the bed with his bestie? Adana finished. They both burst into laughter. Let's write a book. Adana started a YouTube channel, laughing through the pain, turning trauma into truth and truth into triumph. Adana launched his own book. Months later, Adana and Adaku sat on the beach in Badagry sipping fresh coconut water. To healing, Adaku toasted. To ex-husbands and ex-besties, Adana added, laughing. Their scars became stories. Their pain became purpose. Moral of the story: not every shiny marriage is good. Sometimes it's just well polished pain. Never stay silent in abuse. Speak up before silence buries your soul. True friendship can save you when everything else fails. Sometimes the people you trust most are the ones hurting you the deepest. Learn to choose yourself. If you enjoyed this emotional story, please